So we actually see in the story of the Lone Shark King actually gave the ship to Matt, which the field actually does that because it's a research institute of peace. So he's also involved in the entire thing. But here's a story of what's happening right now, which we see Atlas was defeated by Lucci, knowing of how Luffy and Lucci have encountered again, knowing of how they're actually new, they're in the government island. But we actually heard that Bonnie is there as well, which they're actually going to retreat because of the fact that Luffy is now one of the four emperors. We knew how they were not going to battle him without permission because Lucci is not going to listen to the orders as well, knowing of how Luffy's rushing over to Atlas' side and she was severely damaged, knowing of how she helped them out, which Lucci is going to battle Luffy. But back at the headquarters, we knew that the Straw Hats are on Egghead Island, but they actually was told by Akainu not to interfere, knowing of how Vegapunk knew that CP0 is now targeting him. If they declare war, they have to go to him first, knowing of how everyone thought that if they became allied with Vegapunk, then they will actually have all their resources being damaged. And knowing of how Kizaru actually going to be strategized at hand because of the fact that it headed towards Egghead Island, knowing of how they won't win in a battle against Luffy, knowing of how Lucci have unleashed his power and Luffy has gotten his fifth gear, which they've now saw Lucci unleash his full awakening form, in which they've actually saw the real Vegapunk arrive, knowing of how they've seen Luffy's fifth gear, but all except for Nami, who saw the entire thing back at Wano, because of the fact that they are actually in shock and hear from Vegapunk that the devil fruits are the potential of human evolution, which it could mean that the origin of the devil fruits could be revealed, knowing of how they actually are the real of the gods and how they are actually use them on their own accord. But then we see Sentomaru getting ready to unleash the Seraphim to deploy, knowing of how they are going to stop the battle. By which, knowing of how CP0 have their own Seraphims as well. By which the S-Bear getting ready to take them out of the island, knowing of how their authority chip is no match against the one they actually have on theirs, knowing of the fact that the authorities of the pacifistas only rank to what's actually happened, by which at the top of the tower is the five elders, then the second is Vegapunk, which we knew how the Stella and the satellites. Then third is where Sentomaru is actually at. But the fifth is where the holder of the authority chip is at, and which by that I do mean is actually CP0. So now we see Luffy battling Lucci, knowing of how they are actually going to battle each other, in which Luffy is actually knew how he met Sentomaru again. But he actually not here to greet, as Lucci have killed him in the process, knowing of how he would interfere with the battle. So now we knew how Lucci battling Luffy, despite of being warned by the world government not to battle him because of his status as the fourth emperor, or one of them, we knew how he's going to disobey orders. And of course, the authority chip that they have on their own Serahem, we knew how the rest of them are going to battle one of their own, knowing of how Lucci have killed Sentomaru, knowing of how he won't allow him to interfere with their mission of killing Vegapunk. So right now, we're going to see what's going to happen on the next chapter the week after next week, because it's going on break. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment what you think about the manga chapter. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and my Facebook page and Twitch. Until then, this is Anime Guy right here saying sign out. Laters, and be safe.